On a nice autumn afternoon, we bring you inside here in Arlington, Texas for the national game today. The Philadelphia Eagles, having won 4 consecutive games, taking on the Dallas Cowboys. Desperate times for Dallas right now. They have not won a game at home this year. They're going to be without their starting quarterback, Dak Prescott, without their left tackle. And can they somehow patch things together and start a turnaround as Nick Sirianni and Mike McCarthy are about to tackle? And yes, something has to give. The Eagles have lost 6 straight road games here in Dallas, haven't won since 2017. And again, the Cowboys have been dreadful at home. Going back to last year's playoff loss to Green Bay, 4 consecutive home losses. And welcome to this NFC East rivalry game from Dallas. Jim Nantz with Tony Romo and Tracy Wolfson. The Eagles and the Cowboys are coming up. Braden Mann will be kicking it away to Turpin. And can the Cowboys find some answers today? Tony, we'll see.
That we will. Big rivalry game here. And I think Dallas needs this one to keep them going because this can implode in a hurry if they don't.
Let's go down to Tracy before the first snap.
For the Eagles, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, both active, and they get their tight end, Dallas Goedert, back as well.
So Cooper Rush, thank you, Trace, with his first start since 22 when he did a great job of filling in. His only loss as a starter was at Philadelphia. It's 5-1. Here he goes. Out of the gun to start things. Got an open man, and boy, is Tolbert walloped after the catch by Gardner Johnson.
Fast for standing under duress and deliver it.
Trying to get it over to C.D. Lamb. And C.D. in traffic is going to lose a couple. The Eagles were up to that, including Nolan Smith. 3rd and 8. Got time to go down the field and almost ends up in the arms of Darius Slay. It was intended for Brooks. And the Cowboys, 3 plays and a punt on the way. Cowboys at 3 and 5 on the year. Nearly had that one blocked. Fair catch call by DeJean at the 30-yard line. And Sumerman was the one who came in quickly on anger. And here comes Jalen Hurts. Hey, this last month, Tony, he has been something special. Has not turned it over once. He's accounted for 12 total touchdowns, and they've won all 4 of those games.
You can see the vision of this coaching staff starting to come together. The same thing on the defensive side, but Kellen Moore starting to understand what Jalen Hurts likes to do and the concepts. They're really starting to understand the rhythm and the timing of it, and you have these 2 explosive guys outside. It's a real challenge for defensive coordinators. Well, he's outstanding. He really is kind of like a rookie, basically, because he didn't play last year. But when he learns the game fully, going to be a monster. They have a great young player right there. You see his ability. He's a violent tackler and has great acceleration.
Last 3 weeks, the Eagles have rushed for 440 yards, the most in the league over that span. Here they go back to the ground. It's Barkley with an opening, and Barkley up ahead for a gain of about 7. What a performance he gave them last week.
Great defenders in the league, and he's there on 3rd down. You'll see him there a lot.
3rd and 2 it is, and Hurts is going to run for it. He's got plenty of room, and he steps out at the Dallas 49-yard line.
Great job by Lane Johnson, right tackle.
Play action this time with plenty of time. And there is a flag down as he throws it away. And we'll see what the call is by referee Alex Kemp and company.
Well, the quarterback had the ball in the pocket, illegal contact. Defense number 7. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
It was called on Trayvon Diggs, who was under the weather Friday. Touchdown pass came against the Philadelphia Eagles to Terrence Williams.
Oh, what a legend. Terrence Williams.
Terrence Williams,
yes.
Obviously.
Here we go. Terrence was awesome.
Oh, bobble snap.
That is Philly's ball. Wow.
That's Milton Williams with the football. A botched 3rd and 6. Smith in a slot to the left. And now Hurts going to dump it off Barkley. Whole crew of Cowboys around him, and he gets away. Oh, the Cowboys had him. We'll check the marker. How about all that twisting and turning? He didn't have to jump backwards over anybody today, but he somehow found 12 yards out of traffic.
While the quarterback had the ball in the pocket, illegal contact. Defense number 1. That penalty is the time.
The play stands. Comes the tush push, you got to think.
What's your stop?
There's Hurts, and he is powering across for the touchdown.
They have that play down to a science. Atlanta actually stopped them Jacksonville last week on that, and they aligned perfectly. And so every time you step up and look, you're like, no chance, or you got a chance. You got to have guys go underneath the offensive line, but not enough guys inside there. And it's a great shot by our crew right there.
And no, they were looking to kind of get back with the success rate last week, as you pointed out, so poor. It works for the first time today, and for Hurts, it's career rush touchdown number 50. Extra point good by Elliott. And the Eagles take advantage of the turnover. Williams with the recovery. Barkley gets him to the 1, and Hurts does the rest. Well, there you see the 50th career rush touchdown. Josh Allen got one today at Indy in their win. Get the 57. Cam has the all-time record. We saw that montage a brief while ago, all the faces from this rivalry. Dick Vermeil was shown in that, and I just want to say to the great man, he just turned 88 a little more than a week ago. We wish him happy birthday. Did
they have a chance? They did.
Here it goes back to Dowdle, and nothing this time. You saw a shot of Zeke Elliott.
Starting point.
2nd and 5. Down the middle he goes. Oh, and that was behind Tolbert. And nearly into the arms of C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Rodgers in for Slay. Pocket gives him enough time. Down the field, caught but out of bounds. Incomplete. Mitchell kind of forced him to the sideline, and Brooks' catch does not count.
Fantastic coverage.
Bonvoy, where can we take you? And by Subway, introducing all new spicy footlongs.
On this Veterans Day weekend, it's great to have all of you with us. Cowboys at 3-5, Eagles at 6-2. And he's able to pop that down to about the 1-yard line, where Shipley will give it a shot. And he is stopped at about the 33. We'll check a marker here. So Hurts and the Eagles, touchdown drive on a short field. Last time they had it, and now a little toss play to Smith. He's got 9. Warrior ride at the ranch in Crawford. Here's a 2nd and 1. Barkley. He's got a first down after a gain of about 6.
One of the great human beings you'll ever meet.
1st and 10, and Hurts. There's a room, plenty of room to slide. And that's a nice slide too, by the way, for 8.
He does a really good job of protecting himself and getting down. You have to control the pass rush lane integrity. Keep your areas.
2nd and 2. And there's a quick toss to Goddard for the first down. Well, they're happy to have the full arsenal with Smith and Goddard. First down at the 42. Hurts dancing around, buying time, planting, firing, wide open. A.J. Brown twisted down at about the 12-yard line.
It's a great job extending the play, and you see the time I talk about in the pocket.
Well, it was a 30-yard play that sets up the Eagles at the Cowboy inside the 20 at the 13-yard line. That's where we'll start the second quarter. It is 7-3. Philly after 1. trying to go to Goddard. What a play by Diggs. Cowboys were spared. Now they dump it off. Dowdle. And look at this defense of Vic Fangio.
They
Won
know
it again.
And you're exactly right. Why they've really turned it on and become really difficult to go against.
And one of the best coordinators
Ever.
the league has ever known is Dowdle. Gets the call. And he got hit first by Vaughn.
I'm really impressed.
To Lamb. Lamb runs into Zach Martin and a couple of Eagles. And the Cowboys offense is coming off the field quickly again.
You see how everyone for Philly shoots the gap to the leg. They miss, you're going right back to my help. I miss, goes back to the next guy, and they're all flying to the ball. It's just a great, fundamentally sound structure.
A guy that in high school in Iowa won the state championships in the 100-meter and the long jump.
He didn't jump high there.
Not that time. Paramount Plus streams the NFL on CBS every Sunday at home or on the go all season long right through the AFC Championship game. Where will that game be played? Boy, how about Kansas City today? +1/+2 gain. Opposites attract. Now, since week 6, again, the Eagles are on a roll. And Jalen told us, we're heating up. I said, you're on fire. We're heating up is what he said, Sirianni and company. And man, the stats are so big in so many categories, while the Cowboys, it has been a brutal stretch.
Well, look, you have to put all these guys down here because Barkley is right there. Well, that leaves one-on-one with great receivers. It's not a great way to attack this team.
2nd and 8. Going downfield. Turnaround catch, back shoulder, it is. And Dotson with the grab. Nice throw by Hurts, who got hit after he released it.
And that's one of his really great traits. Bring the safety down or keep him back. You got to bring him down to stop Barkley.
That was 27 yards, and here comes Barkley. To the edge with a step. How about that straight arm?
All right. I'm now convinced.
Seen it all, the Hail Mary we had a couple of weeks ago in Washington. Here was something last week that you've never seen in the NFL ever. This move coming up right there by Barkley.
This is the NFL. This is not Pee Wee football. And this, it's so rare to say I've never seen this before. I can remember that when Odell Beckham had that catch. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've never seen that, right? This is the second time I saw something like that. Now we've seen people practice what OBJ did, so you might see it more. Well, that's...
And a big bounce to the end zone and a net punt of only 35 yards. Second quarter in Cowboy land, Dallas trails.
Geico. Get more with Geico. LLB. Only the best gifts. And by Little Caesars. Get game day delivered from Little Caesars.
We'll see if we're in the mix, right? If we have a chance, decide whether to have surgery or not, things of that nature.
There is Zeke being spun down for a loss.
Especially if he blitzes.
3rd and 3, rush, tough pass. Look at Slay comes.
Get back to pistol. The guy behind you can go either way.
On 1st down, Dowdle. Again, the Cowboys keep getting these plays, running plays for next to no gain or even a loss, and it's Vaughn again.
That's Vaughn. He does a great job. He's patient. He's got a feel, and he's our under-the-radar guy today. Watch the patience, stay in your gap, and then explode and go finish the play. Look at that. He's never played inside linebacker before, and now you're seeing him. And watch coverage, Jim. He understands the concepts. That's what I'm talking about, instead of just going to an area.
2nd and 10. Pass incomplete. The Cowboys, that was their 19th snap. They've not had a play longer than 8 yards. And they have a total of, well, so far in the game, 47 yards on 19 plays.
Here we go.
Straight drop back. Pass. Oh, almost into the arms of Nakobe Dean, who had the game saver last week at Jacksonville with an interception late.
After Philly looked like they dominated the first quarter.
Doesn't feel like it at all, does it? 2nd and 4. In the round to Lamb. And CD.
Be one-on-one. This guy's going to be outside leverage, and your job is to come over and help.
Zeke It's the call. Elliott, the ball pops out, and DeJean recovers in the end zone. We do have a flag.
Oh, and that's going to be a huge call. Who this is on?
Holding. Offense number 87. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a touchback and a first down.
Well, Zeke Elliott.
He gets a shoulder on it. Gardner Johnson and then Bond right there. We just talked about her under the radar. Well, he's above the radar now with that play.
With the sunshine bleeding through, all courtesy of Nationwide, as the Eagles will try to do a little business here in the last 3 minutes. Had it for over 6 minutes, 13 plays, and netted nothing. Now, Hurts. All kinds of time to show off his arm. We got a flag on the coverage coming up. Trying to hit Devontae on a long ball.
Well, this would have been a touchdown if he didn't draw a flag, because it's a double move and Carson had to hold him.
Prior to the pass, holding. Defense number 21. It's a 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Kalen Carson, who's been injured with a shoulder. Dowdle the back. He still has it.
CD.
Rush throws. That was intended for Ferguson at the goal line. Here's the Cowboys' 7th red zone snap. 3rd and goal. Dowdle, no way. Absolutely no way. He is just smothered by Jalen Carter.
I think, honestly, when you run that, you tell me you're going to go for it then, but just count it automatically, so you got to go ahead and rush him.
So the Cowboys again have had 7 snaps in the red zone, no touchdowns, but a second field goal and down by 1. There's Aubrey. He just half kicks it to keep it in play.
It's just like he's chipping it
It's a chip shot
to make
down
sure
to
it's
the
at the
2.
1.
Yeah.
Like you want to kick it to the 1, technically, so you make sure he returns it.
So Gainwell runs it back just past the 30. Hey, we've got the Verizon halftime report coming up. JB, the coach. And there's Nate. Good looking suit today. Always so sharp. JJ, Matt Ryan. Great show today. We're excited. Next week they're going to be on the road with us in Buffalo.
And the check's on them, if you couldn't tell that there.
From the 16, and the Eagles have 1 timeout.
They bring in Parsons on first down. I think he's earned that right.
Open. That's A.J. Brown goes out of bounds for a gain of 14.
And that's where you're going to attack consistently. Here comes the pressure. Quick slant right here.
1st and 10. And again, working the sidelines with Devontae Smith. So 2 straight completions for Jalen.
Are they really going to keep him on an island out here again? Quick out.
Pass to Brown, slashing across the middle and to the Cowboy 47. 18 yards on that 3rd down play.
Adjustment.
Cowboys with a quick line change. In fact, maybe they didn't feel like it was enough time for them to be set. So Dallas calls the timeout, and we're back in 30 seconds after this.
Lowe's knows there's a lot of hard work that goes into making the holidays look
easy.
But that won't stop you. We're here to help you get it right and get it at the right price. With more deals, points toward My Lowe's Money for members, and delivery on your schedule.
Happy holidays. This looks incredible.
Because being able to say,
There's nothing.
is everything.
Come in, come in.
Lowe's knows how to help you holiday.
Again, the Verizon halftime report coming up. JB and all the crew, all the scores on highlights and the stories. Pittsburgh winning at Washington. I'll tell you, Russell Wilson, that move by Coach Tomlin looking pretty brilliant now. All the experts, they questioned it. They thought he was crazy putting him in. He got the last word on that one. All those stories coming up, including the McCaffrey return for the 49ers and their win on the road.
Tomlin's pretty good. I think he knows what he's doing.
Minute to go. 1st and 10, and he's taken off. Hurts. Plenty of room to get all the way down to the Cowboy 23.
Well, they're in field goal range now. But Hurts just looking downfield, and when you turn and run, like they did on the last play. When these linebackers were guarding someone, turn and run up the field, that leaves a whole gap inside.
24 yards on the scramble. Now going to dump it underneath. Gainwell for 9.
I'd use the timeout right there. Good job by Sirianni being prepared.
And did it right away at 28 seconds. And we'll be back in 30 after this.
Look, nobody has more beef on the front line than us. We just need to wrap up.
I want to hear that crunch.
They practice in defense, how to make people hungry.
Wrap up.
Crunch.
Wrap up.
It's like the whole sport's designed to sell people food.
Crunch.
Wrap.
Crunch.
Wrap.
Crunch.
Wrap.
That's ridiculous.
Crunch.
Wrap.
Crunch.
Wrap.
Crunch.
Wrap.
I mean, who would design a whole defensive scheme just to sell?
Crunchwrap Supreme! Buy one, get one from Taco Bell, only on Uber Eats.
Eagles out of timeouts.
No sacks for Hurts. Everything else you can throw in the middle of the field or outside.
Able to shake off the pressure. Fires to the end zone, and it's caught by Dallas Goedert. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Mike Zimmer dials up a perfect blitz. Gets a free rusher. Overshown coming right in. But Jalen Hurts makes him overused. So they send the center back this way, and they bring the pressure from the right, and you get a free rusher. You can't do any more than that if you're Coach Zimmer, and just you got to throttle down just a little bit there. Hurts just makes him miss. Uses his leverage against him. Easy touchdown.
I'll tell you what was easy, Tony. They went 84 yards in 85 seconds.
You were hoping that it was 24 seconds, weren't you? So it would be 84 and 84 seconds.
How about that? But how about Goddard? Dallas comes to Dallas and scores a touchdown. And, of course, he wasn't in the lineup last week. He's been shaken up a couple of times this year, hamstrings and all. But look at Jalen able to get away from all that first wave of pressure and find his tight end for the touchdown.
And it's a great job fighting through it, and you see his skill set. He's a talented football player, and he's just another weapon that makes him so difficult to defend because they got weapons everywhere, and if you don't get quarterback down when you get a one-on-one opportunity right up the middle, it ain't going your way.
So Hurts was 5 out of 6 on the drive, plus a 24-yard run. Hurts has run for a touchdown, thrown for another, and now it's 14-6 with 23 seconds to go in the half. And don't forget, Philadelphia will receive the third quarter kick.
Well, this is a microcosm a little bit of Philly when I watch, right? More turnovers than they've had in a long time, but they only stop themselves, Jim. They got a little bit of the Ravens in them where it's like they're so good everywhere. It's really don't take sacks, no turnovers, and just don't have any silly penalties, and you're going to score a lot of points.
Hey, by the way, we've got an NFC North showdown Thanksgiving Day in Detroit as the Lions take on the Bears, and country music's hottest rising star, the Grammy-nominated Shabuzi, will headline the Thanksgiving halftime show, powered by Verizon. Kickoff 12:30 Eastern, Thanksgiving Day. We look forward to sharing with all of you that wonderful American tradition coming up from Detroit. Thanksgiving. We'll see you then. Here's the 1st and 10 with Rush's pass, incomplete, knocked out of the hands. Mitchell doing a great job of breaking it up.
Over and over again. See how wide they are on the edge?
2nd and 10. Cowboys with 2 timeouts. Ball knocked down at the line. It was Carter who got a hand on it. You know, that previous play we saw Mitchell.
Here we go.
No CD Lamb on the field right now. Pass at the feet of Lipke. Oh. And that gets this crowd even a little bit more restless.
And the Coopers played a lot of, you know, at a high level in a lot of football games. He's had 6, right? He's 5 in his career, but the 2 worst games by far. The Philly game with the 3 interceptions, 40 quarterback rating, the same thing today. That is not a very good first half. He's missed too many throws. 7 points right there in the red zone early.
No returners. They tried to go block to close out the half. Anger will be able to pass.
Don't touch it. Let it go to 0. Why?
Yeah, right.
Come on. All right, clock operator, just click that to 0 real quick. Nance needs a bathroom break.
No, I don't.
Just a little sloppy first half early on both sides. Philly 2 turnovers, but
Well,
Dallas also has 2 turnovers.
Philly, the last 4 games, their defense has given up an average only 214 yards a game. Today in the first half, Dallas 104. Just right on that average.
That's exactly right. That's a good point.
That's the end of the first half with the score. Philadelphia 14, Dallas 6. Halftime is next after these first half highlights from Verizon and a word from your local station.
This broadcast is copyrighted by NFL Productions for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this broadcast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of NFL Productions is prohibited.
Jalen Hurts rushes for a touchdown, throws for another. That goes to Dallas Goedert. Cowboys with a couple of field goals. It was not a pretty first half, with each team committing a couple of turnovers. But here are the first half highlights presented by State Farm.
Well, there's your tush push that we've gotten to know, and this offensive line has been fantastic. But it's a turnover story. I mean, either of these teams could have gotten a big lead. They would have protected the football. But Jalen Hurts using his legs on multiple plays. He was the difference on that final drive to extend the lead. And right now, Dallas is in trouble. The way to do that is also bringing a guy who can use his legs a little bit, possibly. We'll see some packages.
I definitely took that to mean. Yeah, we're going to do that. That's what I thought he said. And look at this run back. That was Shipley with a nice run out to about the 37, 31-yard run back. Let's talk about the quarterback numbers in the first half.
Well, I think Jalen's done a good job. It's just really the sacks. I mean, Eagles could have ran away with this. 6 penalties, 5 sacks, allowed 2 giveaways, but you see they're able to keep doing what they want. They only stop themselves, but Cooper's got to get something going. No passes over 10 yards. They're 0 for 5 today, and that's why you got to get these guys off of you a little bit. They're man-to-man outside. They're pressing.
11 after a 51-yard punt. Pins him back here. Dowdle. And Carter is right there to plug the hole if there was one. By the way, CBS tonight, don't miss a special presentation of the epic return of Yellowstone with all the latest Dutton family action. Starts tonight after Tracker on CBS, and a lot of the cast has made their way from Dutton Ranch to Dallas, taking the game. 2nd and 9.
Calling the plays at the line. You look out here, you see what they're in. Try and work the middle of the field versus this look.
Backfield pass for no gain. It's caught and dropped immediately is Dowdle. Knocked down by Dean. 3rd and 8. Well, that's just not going to be enough. Tolbert.
Oh, man, I don't love running a spot route. Same route they ran, different formation. Just a simple 4-yard route and a flat route, and neither one of those would have had a chance of getting the first down. And that is not what we were looking for.
No,
for a Cowboy fan.
That did not bring a lot of energy to the building. DeJean is back. Had a fumble recovery in the end zone in that first half. Anger averaged 51 yards a boot on his 3 in the first. DeJean has a chance to rip it open here. Able to get around the corner, showing off that speed, the former track star back in Iowa schoolboy days. With a fine return to set up the Eagles.
He's got rare athleticism, and you saw his speed, and guess he could jump out of the gym. You ever see him play basketball, Jim?
Yeah, he's something else.
Whoa. Gosh, this is my highlight? No, this is him. That's right. I couldn't tell if it was me or him out there. That's.
Whoa.
I never did that. Look at this.
A little mustard on that one. Yeah.
Send it in, Jerome.
Sound like Rav. That was a 32-yard return.
They hit a home run with him
yes,
and
they
Mitchell.
did.
First, second-round picks. They got it locked up in the secondary for years to come.
Barkley looking around. And that patience, you saw it right there. The stutter steps, the little wiggles. At his best for 8.
That's exactly what I thought they'd come into the game doing a little bit more. The running back position was devalued for many years there. I think that's the value's going back up with him and Henry and Mixon doing what they're doing.
That's a good point. Uptick. That's what you're saying.
Well, they all left
Pay
the team.
these guys. There's
Yeah.
a first down.
They matter. And
They really
especially these individuals.
He was on the roster 2015 through 17. Now, Hurts in trouble. Throws across his body and gets the incompletion to save the sack that Kendrick was about to deliver. Kendricks was on him.
Where's Tracy Wilson, our sideline? Get out of there, Trace. Get out of there.
Uh-oh, got a flag here on the Cowboys.
Having a rough day, but he's had some good plays as well, though. It's just tough.
Gainwell. No one's touched him yet. And finally, after about 8 yards, there's contact. But he's got a 1st and goal to go for Philadelphia. Eagles set up at the 5. 3rd and goal. Barkley returns to the backfield.
Not a shock that Dallas has by far their best pressure rate of the season. Parsons is back.
Drop back. Jalen looking around, surveying 3 or 4 times. Snaps up and fires. And it's caught for the touchdown. Johnny Wilson with the touchdown catch.
He is huge. Receiver from Florida State. You would have thought he was a tight end or something. Nope, he's actually a wide receiver. Look at this. Could just box him out and throw it up to him if you wanted to, but look at that. And great job. 6'6", 230, but Hurts extending the play with his legs 2nd time. Got it to Goddard last time.
6'6" wide receiver, the tallest receiver selected in an NFL draft in the last decade. Taken in the 6th round back in the spring, and he has his first career touchdown catch.
That was impressive. A lot of good things that play.
The sound of Philadelphia, and the Eagles are soaring 21-6.
Sponsored by Wendy's. Any size soft drink for $1. Voya. Well planned, well invested, well protected. And by T-Mobile, America's largest 5G network.
Oh, man. Carve up a little Hard 8 barbecue. They're near DFW. Favorite stop for many of our hungry production teams through the years. But how about Johnny Wilson? How about Howie Roseman, by the way? We've extolled what the first 2 picks have brought to them. Amazing shots from today's game, provided by Nationwide. Now the sun's not a factor anymore. Sun beginning to set here in Arlington, and the Cowboys, their season, we might be seeing the sun set on any of their hopes unless they mount some sort of significant turnaround here. Their offense has been completely stalled. They're back with Cooper Rush still in there. 10 out of 19, 10 completions for 38 yards.
They have to have something on this drive. Otherwise, you got to expect possibly to see Lance get some action.
Purple 20. Purple 20. Here we go.
Fakes it to Dowdle, throws it to him, and again, right on the average. Like he was averaging 2 yards an attempt before that throw, and that picks up 2 right there to Dowdle, with Dean decking him right away.
Here we go.
2nd and 8. Ferguson. He had 3 touchdown catches in the playoff loss to Green Bay at the end of last season, and somehow he has not caught a touchdown this year.
And that's where they allocate resources.
3rd and 5. Here's the pass. Open. Lamb unable to reel it in. Slay on the coverage.
Well, this is a little in out when they use CD all over the place and they get him the ball with a bunch of motion jet sweeps, but right now the frustration you can tell all over the Cowboys' faces.
Sunset here over the Dallas-Fort Worth area, right between them, Arlington. And the Cowboys just not able to do anything on the offensive side. Down 21-6, mid-third. Come out firing to start this drive, and they're going deep. And it's caught! What a play to A.J. Brown with Carson defending. He just dropped it right in there. for a gain of 44. Somewhat okay. Of course, last year was a knee injury that he lost his rookie year after being drafted in the 3rd year out of Texas. And that's a 9-yard run for Barkley, who, again, is showing signs that he's going to stockpile some second half numbers, as he usually does. Got a linebacker in there leading the way.
Look at these.
Barkley picks up a big chunk of yardage there for 10 more. Yeah, Saquon, what an offseason acquisition for them. Fits so well in this offense. I love this. Watch what happens. The spin away, entering today. He had most yards scrimmage. Look at this. Since 1965.
That's going to
through 8 games. Boy, hope he didn't land on that.
I thought that could hurt.
That could have hurt.
He is an MVP candidate. Derrick Henry the same way. I think Mixon's playing great down in Houston. That's why I say we got to bring the value back. When you get a player like this with a decent offensive line or a good offensive line, MVP candidates.
I like your point. Here he is, trying to break it. There he is, picking up another first down to the 9-yard line. Cal Katera helped seal him on that side for another big game for Barkley.
That's why Philadelphia really is in. Earlier in the year, I didn't think it was Super Bowl contention, right? It didn't look like they were rolling on all cylinders, but now with the defense playing as well as anyone in the National Football League, and you have the ability just to pound the rock. When you're winning, it's hard to win in the NFL, and they're winning. He deserves credit.
He still has it, and Hurts is going to plunge across for another Eagles touchdown. His second running score of the day, this one from 8 yards out.
This is play they scored on last week a different way, but all you're going to do is you're going to pull 2 guys. You're going to leave this entire side, and you're going to find these guys come over here and block, and you just follow them because everyone goes to Barkley, and Jalen just finishes downhill softly into the end zone.
Yeah, he just, like a lawnmower, went cutting through people, including Jordan Lewis, at about the 1-yard line. Extra point added, and it's 28-6. Philadelphia looking like a team that's going to be 7-2. Riding a win streak. Riding right through Dallas right now. Which one's coming out? They both got the helmet on.
I think Cooper's coming out. But I do want to see Lance. I do. I really feel like
it's going to be Cooper.
I think it is going to be Cooper.
No, it's not.
No, they tricked you.
Oh, my goodness.
Here you go. The crowd's got a little clapping coming.
That was like the old to tell the truth, kind of like the double fake pump. And who's going to stand up? It's going to be Trey Lance, the former number 3 overall pick in the 2021 draft.
He's got rare speed, and I think he's worked on it, so now it's time to see.
2nd and 6. He hands it off. Dowdle, and there's a flag in the backfield. And it's coming back.
Well, it's a great job.
Holding. Offense number 56. 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Oh, and right back out. It's just a little package. He packages. Not that time. 2nd and 16. And Lamb again has been completely contained as DeJean is right there to stick him after 2.
DeJean is so good. This defense really took off when he got back in there in the slot position. I mean, for him to be able to just one-on-one in some ways, you're not going to do it all the time, but he wreaks havoc at the line of scrimmage and the run game. He can guard defenders, and you see him right here. He's walking out.
Here we go.
This will be a zone. He'll take outside leverage.
Marker down at the line of scrimmage as he heaves it down the way for Brooks. Might be the NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year. He's in the discussion for sure. 3rd and 9. Ball's back. Knocked out of his hands. Cowboy lineman. Football follies. And maybe Philadelphia has it. Oh my goodness. The Keystone Cops just broke out here on the field, and the Cowboys have yet another low light.
Football follies. The Bad News Bears And right there, that says it all. Way too many mistakes right here. And ball on the ball. You got two guys there. And
it's recovered by the team from the Keystone State. And it's Bond.
It just
Zach Bond on the recovery.
It only gets worse right here. It just, this is what I was telling you. This was their real chance to, like, okay, we're going to do it.
I know you talk about frustration down on the sidelines. Just imagine what's going on in the Jones family box right now.
It's frustration.
Steven right there.
Jared Jr. on the other side, and Big Jerry, he just sits in the middle, and it's hard for them to watch.
The third quarter for the Cowboys.
45 yards passing on 23 attempts going to the fourth quarter.
Well, Santa's happy. So are the Eagles and the Philadelphia faithful. On the third quarter, a couple of touchdowns. Field goal time for Elliott, 39 yards. Kick, good. 31-6. 10 seconds into the final quarter. Well, the entire division, except for Philadelphia, looking like they're not going to have nothing but a loss today. Eagles on a roll.
The NFL is powered by Verizon 5G, Pepsi Zero Sugar, and by K, the official partner of couples who love the game.
Back to a restless Arlington. Oh, well, what do you think? You ready?
Oh yeah, I'd last. Let me just. If it wasn't for that knee or something, you know, I'd have had a career or something, but I'd last about 2 drives.
I do remember the last time you played was a Week 17 game. You were injured that year, 2017.
And this is an important moment for you, really.
You
can grab this.
Looking to throw, and he is completely smothered. Graham. Brandon Graham, just a legend in Philadelphia, still getting it done. Here's Dowdle. He's got 3 yards. Well, the Cowboy turnovers, 3 of them in this game, and that kind of started the whole downward spiral rather early on the botched play off the shotgun snap, and then more to come, including this one in the third quarter. You know, Sirianni was talking to us about their record, and yeah, you're always going to have a great record if you win the turnover battle. Lance back to Ferguson. He coughed it up. That was a football move. And Blankenship goes out of bounds, takes out our parab operator. And the Eagles are just taking out the Cowboys by the minute.
They don't return to Philly till 2 a.m. tomorrow morning. They will practice on Tuesday, then do a walkthrough before Thursday's game against their division rival Washington, who is certainly their #1 threat. So the Eagles, just being cautious, wouldn't be surprised if they sit some more of their players down the stretch of this game.
And a really valid point. Of course, this is the first of 2 coming up against the Commanders the rest of the season. Washington losing today to Pittsburgh, and now the Eagles are atop the NFC East all alone. And there's a catch, and it goes to Smith. No relation.
Slash since you told me earlier today.
Elliott, good. That was from 38, and it's now 34-6. Gives us a chance here to review some of the early headlines around the league on Week 10. Somehow they did it again. They block a field goal on the last play of the game. Just a 35-yard field goal for Will Lutz. Blocked. The Chiefs are perfect 9-0 heading to Buffalo. Russell Wilson throws 3 touchdown passes, and the Steelers edge the Commanders in Washington 28-27. McCaffrey back after missing the entire first part of the season, 107 total yards. His return to the lineup, a win at Tampa for the 49ers. Josh and the Bills. He leads the Stampede and they're now 8-2, and they will be hosting Kansas City again. That's next Sunday. We'll be there on CBS in the late afternoon window.
This reminds me, that matchup next week, it just has that feeling to me, and I'm going to talk about it again when we get in the game next week. But that was Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, where it was like one team's 9-0, the other team's 8-1.
I remember the game. I could tell you, we did. It was whatever year that was. It was like November the 4th. It was in Indianapolis.
It's like for home field.
Yeah, and
it's like it could have those implications.
Exactly. Good memory there, my friend. Look, next Sunday, you got the Ravens and Steelers early. That's always just a bloodbath between those two. Baltimore and Pittsburgh early, headlining the regional action, and then 100% of the country gets Buffalo hosting Kansas City, and the NFL Today live from Buffalo here on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
You know Kansas City just doesn't lose.
1st and 10 after the scramble by Lance. And lofts it, and he's intercepted. 5th turnover committed by the Cowboys as Gardner Johnson is the one who comes away with the football.
Well, this ball floats a little bit, but the receiver never even looked. He's just like running a route as if he's running.
Oh, slime time. The star of the show is here today. Young Dylan. He's got his Eagle attire on. Huge Eagles fan, so he's enjoying it. 5 takeaways matches the most ever for the Eagles in a game at Dallas. We've still got 9 minutes to go.
Yeah, young Dylan's enjoying his day. Him and Nate Burleson do a great job.
Yeah, Nate's awesome.
Really
the Jets,
they
got throttled by Arizona. Just went final seconds ago, 31-6.
One of the toughest parts is to keep the locker room together. Everyone, the frustration builds. People are all going to get upset, angry, and then it's just like, how do we stay in phase? Like, keep your focus and just improve.
By the way, Saturday, 3:30 Eastern is big time on CBS, where we'll find 6th-ranked Penn State trying to stay strong on the road against upset-minded Purdue. Going to get you set for kickoff at 2:30 Eastern with college football kickoff, followed by College Football Today on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus. To the last possession, but not today. It's just the way it happens sometimes. There's Lance. The pass a little too steep. Yeah, we had some magnificent early games to watch today.
4 or 5 of them came down to the final play or final minute, but it is nice.
You saw Nick Sirianni a moment ago, picked up his 40th NFL win last week down in Jacksonville. It's going to be 41-19 in his tenure. He talked to us at length about how fundamentals is what he wanted to stress this week. This team as Lance shakes off a possible sack and now turns the corner. That will go down as a sack. He did get back maybe to the line or a loss of 1. Will go down as a sack. Another one for the Eagles defense. They're going to punt 4th and 7. A few ripples of discontent, but the Cowboys booted away where it's fair caught by DeJean at the 20-yard line. One more time. All eyes on Orchard Park right now after this one ends. The rivalry continues.
We got to show everybody who we really are.
Mahomes magic touchdown. Chiefs incredible.
No one's going to get him. Touchdown, Buffalo.
Every time I go up against Josh, I know that it's going to come down to the end.
He's one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game.
That's next Sunday. 2 of the best. That goes without saying. 2 of the best guys, by the way, too, folks.
Yeah.
You get asked all the time, what are these superstars like? They don't get any better than those 2. And we'll see them next Sunday, 4:25 on CBS, as Shipley's getting some action here in cleanup time. Got 9 with that carry. And for those of you just joining us again, it's 34-6 here. Very kind of similar spread to what you saw with the Jets going down. And similar fashion as the Cowboys today. Hurts threw for 2, ran for 2. Cowboys turned it over 5 times. Dallas has a grand total of 146 yards of offense.
It could have been worse. I mean, Hurts threw an interception in the end zone. The first half, they kept the game a little closer, but they really dominated after the first possession or 2.
Shipley on 2nd and 1 falls right at the marker. Was undefeated for a long way that season.
That's 07.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, you sit there and you watch it. Kansas City's making its run. There was close games. I remember the Baltimore sneak.
Yep.
They called timeout and stopped Tom Brady, and then they ended up winning that game to keep it going. Maybe that happens with Kansas City today, where they block a kick. We could actually win that. And those are huge games.
2nd and 4. Shipley stopped. By the way, Kansas City go in on an overall 15-game win streak. 12 of them one-score games.
Just knows they have the championship DNA.
You might remember when we were getting ready for the Super Bowl in Las Vegas, and maybe even said it to me on the Victory platform, Travis Kelce.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Came down to a missed field goal at the end in a wild game, regular season last year. Kansas City, Buffalo won there.
Josh has left the field many times thinking he had it won.
Absolutely.
So has Patrick.
2 minutes to go, and it's Philadelphia.
Official salute to service partner of the NFL. And by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Outscoring the Cowboys 20-0. Couple of running plays. They pick up a first down. They can kneel down. Oh, there's a pancake. Delivered by Bell. By the way, tonight on CBS begins with 60 Minutes and a look back at Tuesday's decisive election, followed by a new episode of Tracker, plus an encore presentation of Yellowstone. That's tonight on CBS Sunday. Well, this game was, the outcome of this one was called in the third quarter.
Yes. Well, the point differential at home for the Cowboys was not good.
I mean, including today, the four just standalone to this season. The losses by a total of 94 points, 23.5-point average. They try a tush push here with Pickett. Doesn't quite look the same.
It worked.
But it did work. The Pickett push.
I don't think the legs will get picked up on that one.
That will be the last play, and even Kenny realizes what he just pulled off.
You've got to give Jeff Stoutland, the O-line coach, a ton of credit.
Yeah.
For the tush push coming up with this, him and Sirianni, great, but just the way they're playing, the offensive line is dominating football games. We all talk about Barkley and Hurts. They've got so many weapons, but this starts up front on the D-line and O-line. They are dominating right now, and they are a real Super Bowl contender.
Well, the Eagles, Tony, they win here at AT&T Stadium for the first time since 2017. And that, of course, is the season they went on to win the Super Bowl. Folks, this is a good team. I know there's been a lot of expectations that haven't been met for whatever reason. People looked at them like they were 4-4 or 3-5 coming into this game. They were 6-2. Now they're 7-2 on a 5-game win streak.
And they had new coaches, play callers on both sides. To them to develop and just keep improving. Impressive.
All right, Tracy, down to you.
Well, congrats, 5th straight win for you. 4 total touchdowns, but still it was led by the defense and their 5 turnovers. How well are you guys playing right now?
Man, defense played a hell of a game. I give them a lot of credit. Just the way that they kind of held it up. Played a hell of a game again. We just got to keep building, keep growing, and keep learning from everything.
Speaking of keep building, a quick turnaround. You have Washington up next on Thursday. What's your early thoughts on that one?
We're going to take it one day at a time. You know, usually you have a 24-hour rule on this, but we'll probably lessen that a little bit. But we know we're going into about to play. Man, you too, bro. We know we're about to play a really good team. Just go through our preparation this week. It'll be short, kind of brief, but it'll be a good one.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yes, the Eagles fly home with a victory in Dallas in a showdown with Washington on Thursday night. They now are the standalone leaders in the NFC East.
Monster game on Thursday night.
Meantime, tough times down here in Texas as the Cowboys get demolished today. Final score, Philadelphia 34 and Dallas 6. Tonight on CBS begins with 60 Minutes. For Tony, Tracy, and Gene, Jim Nantz saying so long from Arlington. You've been watching the NFL on CBS.